Hi loves, just wanted to drop in and do a quick little chat about this idea of discernment versus judgment. I look around and witness and see a world that could probably benefit from a lot more discernment and a lot less judgment. But what actually is the difference between the two? Judgment, we're all pretty familiar with. And if we're kind of doing our work and excavating and expanding and opening, we want to get in a position where we start moving ourselves away from judgment. But we don't want to move ourselves away from discernment. We want to move ourselves deeper into discernment. Judgment is one of these things in our minds. It's very conditioned into us as a society. It is prevalent everywhere. It's like a disease. It is everywhere and it spreads and it's so easy to get caught up in. It's in our media, our social media, our government, our politics, our families. It's everywhere. It's usually ingrained into us from birth, early childhood, and it can cause us a lot of problems in our lives. So judgment is something I always teach that I don't know we're ever going to fully get to a space where we're just judgment free. To me, it feels like in this human body, a natural human condition, there are times where our mind is going to judge. It's what we do with that judgment that makes the difference. And we see that when you stand back and witness, you see that in the world all around you. People acting and reacting from their space of judgment. We don't want to do that, okay? So judgment is a little cue for you. It's a little, whoa, hey, I need to stop and I need to go inside. Judgment is actually a very valuable tool that you can use on your path to growth and transformation. Because what judgment actually is doing is showing you something about yourself. So when I judge another person, that judgment actually has nothing to do with that person and everything to do with something that's going on inside of here. So my judgment is a window or an opportunity to excavate and examine and get curious with something deeper within myself. It's showing me something about myself. Often it's going to be something within me that I'm judging within my own self or that I'm carrying shame around. And that person that I'm judging is acting as a mirror or a reflection back to me. So that's something to keep in mind with judgment. If I'm just rolling along in my unconscious state, having no awareness around my actions and my behaviors, then I'm going to be acting, speaking, making decisions from a place of judgment. And it's probably not going to take me down a very groovy, good feeling path. And it's definitely not going to have me in a space that's connected to my heart and soul. So to me, this is how we want to move away from a space of judgment. And when those judgments come up, how we can actually utilize it and use it as an opportunity rather than a self-destructive or overall destructive behavior. Now, when discernment shows up, what is the difference between discernment and judgment? Because they can be easily confused. Discernment is an invitation to go deeper. Discernment is an invitation to have awareness. So when we start doing our work and coming inward and having a deeper sense of awareness of what's going on within us and how that's relating to the environment around us, we start to recognize our emotions, our energy, our boundaries. And this is where discernment shows up. Discernment is showing us our boundaries. Discernment is showing us our energy. And it's giving us the ability to recognize what is or what isn't for us without it coming from a space of judgment. Discernment allows me to step back. It allows me to witness. It allows me to go within and look at my own heart and soul And I can look at this from a totally hands-off capacity and say, okay, I'm seeing what's going on with this person in front of me, in this situation, in this job, in this place. I'm able to witness it, and I can recognize, for whatever reason, it doesn't align with me. It doesn't align with my heart. It doesn't align with my soul. It doesn't align with my energy or my path or the direction I'm going. It simply doesn't feel good, or it's a situation or a person that's really overstepping my boundaries. That's it. There's no but. There's no pointing fingers. There's no stories. There's no accusations. And at that point, the only action we have to take is the one that continues to lead us in our true authentic path. So in this situation where I've discerned, okay, this person isn't for me, then I'm simply going to move myself away. And I'm going to have appropriate boundaries, but I'm going to do it with love and compassion. And I'm not going to be acting or reacting from a place of judgment. This simply isn't for me. I wish you well, but I'm going this way. That's the difference between discernment and judgment. And discernment, when we're having that awareness and we're coming deeper into ourselves, this is going to help us continue to go down the more aligned, more authentic, higher vibrational path, because discernment is connection to self. Judgment, on the other hand, if we're not careful with that one, is going to lead us to some pretty tricky and chaotic places. So I invite you to sit with this, look at this concept, and start paying attention in your life. Where's the judgment coming up? What can that judgment be teaching you? And how can you discern rather than judge? So thank you for listening in today. You can learn more about me and my offerings, my blogs, by going to wildwoodswellness.ca. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Wildwoods Wellness Canada. And I look forward to connecting again in the future.